Well, President Trump's efforts to keep 8 years of tax returns private has just been rejected in court like this morning. A federal judge says despite being in office, he has no immunity from a criminal investigation. Trump says this is a political plot against him, and his lawyers argue he could suffer, quote, irreparable harm if his tax returns are released. So we got to ask you, the DBL Nation, should the president of the United States be forced to share his tax returns? Lindsay, let's get right on it.
All right, Melody from Facebook says, absolutely, what's he trying to hide? And I agree, there's a precedent that's been set by presidents before him that released their tax returns, but I do want to let everybody know that even if he does give over these tax returns to New York, we probably won't see them anytime before he finishes his presidency, because he's going to push back, and unless it goes to trial, then we will see them as evidence. But otherwise, we're not probably going to see them.
All right. Kimberly from Facebook says, no, it's none of our business. I don't want anyone looking into my private affairs. Ooh, Kimberly, what you doing out there, girl?
Kimberly's not the president.
Not yet. No, not yet. But I understand he released the transcripts of the Ukraine because he felt that he had nothing to hide. So anytime you feel as though you have nothing to hide with something, you're like, here, take my taxes, take my transcripts. I think this could be a big moment for him if he releases them and he has nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm. All right. Megan from Twitter says, I predict Trump will resign before he releases taxes, but he will blame it on the Democrats somehow. First, he will put out a bogus financial report and try and get away with releasing this.
Megan's thought this through.
Megan's got a Hollywood script here. Watch him steal that and write that. Megan, I mean, would anything surprise you at this point with this presidency? This is like if Death Row Records became the president. Like, it's like nothing surprises me anymore. And, like you said, Lindsay, he's the president, and we do ask our president to be forthcoming with their financial history. And if you got nothing to hide, it's almost like when your girl wants your phone.
Yeah, but I just feel like if this is a politically motivated request, it's going to backfire in the long run if we don't see them as the public.
But it's never been. Yeah. But every president, Republican and Democrat presidents, have done it. So that's where I don't see.
But the state of New York requesting that, I'm saying that's politically motivated.
But I might argue that they're requesting it because they want evidence in an actual criminal investigation. If that's true, they might take a sitting president to trial. That's never been done, but technically it's not allowed in the Constitution.
What about double negatives? Are they allowed?
All right. Earl from Twitter says, when the Russia hoax and the whistleblowers fail, we're back to Trump's tax returns. What's next? Stormy Daniels again? And I get it. There's a lot of people coming at him, but I think a lot of people think he's corrupt from a lot of angles. Here's the deal. He releases his physical. He releases a lot about himself. Every president has. There's 2 states now in which you can't run for office unless you give your tax returns. So at some point, again, what is he hiding? If you have nothing to hide, we want to see them. Even Nixon did that.
All right, Barb from Facebook says, we can definitely assume there's something unsavory, I like that word,
me too,
on his tax returns if he's so unwilling to make them public. The man tweets his every thought, but he won't share important documents with the people. Hogwash.
I like that word too.
I think that if he releases them at this point, it might just turn into a huge conversation and controversy about how he spends, and maybe that's why he's just withholding it. Maybe it's not anything going on there. It's kind of like you said when we talked earlier that if Obama released his birth certificate, for me that was pointless.
But if a judge asks, like right now, and says, I need your tax returns, should he listen to the judge, or should he say, I'm president, I don't need to listen to you? I think this morning the judge said, I want those returns.
And if he believes that these criminal accusations are false and just an attempt to bash his character, then I would refuse
a judge.
Well, I would take time to go with my lawyers to figure out the best way forward.
Okay.